Stangibelisco here. I just made a video last night about the extent to which I might be exposing my carcass to dangerous levels of electromagnetic field radiation from that antenna right behind me when I'm operating my ham radio station. I just got a notice from the American Radio Relay League reminding me that my ham radio license is about to expire. It will expire at the end of October of this year, and they sent me a renewal form. That's one of the courtesies of the American Radio Relay League, is that they will assist you, if you so desire, with license renewals for ham radio. And along with that came a packet of information concerning exposure to electromagnetic field radiation from your ham radio station, and sort of outlining when a ham radio operator needs to conduct tests as to how safe or unsafe the electromagnetic field radiation from their station might be to them physically, to their body. And according to that form, and according to some research I did on the internet, as far as I can tell, even if I were to stand right here, 5 feet away from my antenna, which you see behind me, and someone were to transmit with the low power level that I use, it would not cause danger to my carcass. But says who? And what I noticed when I made this video is the suggested videos that YouTube always puts down below concerning related topics. And I was astonished when I started reading the titles and looking at some of these videos and looking at the comments and attitudes that I saw in these videos. The consensus seems to be that electromagnetic radiation of the sort that would come from that antenna or from my wireless router, actually I don't have a wireless modem, it's the router that's wireless, wireless mouse, wireless, I don't have any wireless keyboards, I do not have a cell phone, believe it or not, but radio frequency energy is produced by all kinds of appliances around us. And in maybe the last 150 years, our exposure to electromagnetic field radiation from all kinds of devices, including the power lines themselves in our dwellings, has just gone up drastically. Now, when I look through some of these videos and presentations about this subject, I noticed some common, almost universal characteristics. Number one, they seem to be extremely negative about the effects of electromagnetic fields on our bodies. Negative, fearful, and all kinds of terrible things that could happen to us, and maybe they can, maybe they can't. And here's the bottom line, my take on that issue. I don't know. Now I'm going to say two things straight away. Number one, my real name is Stangibelisco, and you can find what qualifications I have by looking my name up on, say, Amazon.com or going to my website, sciencewriter.net. And my qualifications are not great. I am an amateur radio operator, a ham radio operator, not a professional. I am not a PhD in engineering or anything of that sort. I am an electronics hobbyist. That is my real name and my real honest-to-goodness take on this subject. How dangerous is electromagnetic radiation to our bodies is, I do not know. I suspect a lot of things. I have a lot of physiological symptoms and problems, but I also have other issues that could cause those problems and probably is more responsible than electromagnetic radiation. Then comes the question, if electromagnetic radiation is all around us, power lines, Wi-Fi devices, proliferating all around us, and there doesn't seem to really be any going back. It only seems to be getting more and more of a problem, if that's what it is. What are we going to actually do about it? Now, we could outlaw all electrical and electromagnetic field producing devices and go back to an existence something like what we might have had in 200 years ago. That doesn't seem to me to be much of a solution. On the other hand, we can continue to accept the potential dangers as this technology continues to proliferate around us and just go along blissfully ignorant as to what might be happening to our health as a result of this stuff. I have no answers, and I'm going to say that straight away. I will not claim that if you say this or you say that you're full of baloney, or that you're motivated by this or that corporation, or that you're a troll, or that any other sort of thing like that. Although I suppose that if I were to leave comments wide open and let everything through, there are going to be people who are going to call me a troll. They're going to say, oh, you're just blissfully ignorant. Well, I will say straight away, you betcha, I am ignorant, because I do not know. And I do not claim to know, and I am skeptical of anyone who does. What I do know is that I just got my ham radio license renewal information. And along with that information is a packet that says various things that the Federal Communications Commission has determined every ham radio operator should know about radio frequency field exposure from their ham radio stations. And as far as I'm able to determine according to that material, I'm not exposing myself to harmful electromagnetic radiation from my station. But do I know that they're right? Do I know that anybody's right? Do I have any clue? And the honest-to-goodness answer is, I do not. Maybe you do. Maybe you have qualifications. I looked at some of but qualifications alone are not going to manufacture reality. I don't know the reality of this situation. It is possible that because of our current world situation, an electromagnetic pulse weapon exploded at high altitude by a certain rogue regime across the Pacific may render all of this discussion absolutely meaningless, because the electromagnetic pulse, so they say, will destroy our infrastructure that supposedly is producing all of this destructive electromagnetic radiation, and we will no longer be exposed to these dangers, or not. But unfortunately, we may also starve to death, freeze to death, have no vaccines for illnesses that are still common today, and that keep cropping up: Lyme disease, various forms of food poisoning. Life is surrounded by dangers. We are surrounded by all kinds of dangers, and we accept some and we reject others, and we try to behave in a rational way, I would hope. But as I read through and listened to these videos, it became quite apparent to me that rationality and good old-fashioned, open-minded, courteous discourse is woefully lacking today. And that, along with the worry, could very well be just as harmful as all the horrible electromagnetic radiation sources combined. The toxic attitude may in fact be more destructive than the toxic radiation. But then again, I do not know. I do not know. My name is Stan Gibilisco, and my claim is I know nothing. Enlighten me, please. Stan Gibilisco, signing off. Amateur radio station W1GV, Whiskey 1, good vibrations. Saying 73, which means best regards, and may the best be with you. Until next time, so long.